What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Arc Builder Noah. This is the Timeout with my brother, my amigo, my hermano, Trey and we are the two brother duo for the Timeout. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at the Timeout _ Timeout 7, and be sure to follow and subscribe to Boca Raton Tribute on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. This show has a lot of segments. Of course, we have the out of bounds and we have the hot take. But of course, we're going to talk about some basketball, some football, and some college football. So without further ado, huddle up. Let's get to it. It's time for the timeout. Trey, my boy, we going through it.
Yeah,
we are going through it now.
It's sad.
The Lakers are 3-1 on us. I hate LeBron.
I mean, me personally, I obviously don't hate LeBron James.
I hate LeBron right now. I'm gonna like him. I can like him next season, but right now I can't stand his butt.
It's just it's fun to see him celebrate and destroy opponents, but when it's your team, it's not a fun thing. It's just not.
Like, bro, my thing is this: why are you truck sticking Tyler Hero like you're Derrick Henry running down the sidelines?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
Well, to be fair, Tyler Hero flopped a little bit, but I don't understand why they called he didn't call a foul on that play. But Jimmy Butler did the exact same thing later in the game to Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso flopped a little bit too, and the ref's like, "That's a foul."
Hey, Jimmy had a layup the same time. Went down there, ran into the dude. No, LeBron fouled him. LeBron fouled him. He went up for it. No call. LeBron got sneezed on the way to the rim. Oh, foul.
Like, it's just what Draymond said when he was talking about Jason Tatum. He said, "Oh, he doesn't get those superstar calls yet because he's not there yet. LeBron gets those calls. Why can't Jimmy Butler get those calls? He's a superstar, but I guess he's not a superstar in everybody's eyes. He be getting fouled. He'd be like, the rest be like, we're gonna keep playing." That's probably why he doesn't complain very often when he gets fouled, because he know the refs ain't gonna call it anyways. But when LeBron gets fouled, he's gonna complain, and the ref gonna be like, okay, next time down, I got you.
Right. Like, LeBron literally had to yell at him, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. James. We'll fix it. Don't worry, we're gonna fix it."
Yeah, we got you in the fourth quarter.
The bubble refs they've been horrid since the start of the bubble. But I mean, you would think you don't have the 9-year vets, some 10-year veteran refs that can possibly come in and ref. I believe that the one with the most seniority out of all of these refs is 4 years into it or something like that.
I'm not sure.
Like, the refs are just terrible. The refs have been terrible the whole bubble, and it's just like, now it's really starting to affect the Miami Heat, especially because now we're going to get the team that, like, we already established is going to get more calls than us because of LeBron. But now we're not getting the calls that we need. Yeah, I believe the Heat probably shot on average, they usually shoot about 20 to 30 free throws. Maybe I might be a little bit off, but maybe 20 to 40, but I'm pretty sure 20 to 30 free throws. We're not getting nearly as much now. I believe the game that we won last time, this was game 3. These guys, Jimmy Butler went to the line how many times?
I'm not quite sure.
Because he had 40. I think he went to the line like 15 times. He might have shot like 15 times.
He had to.
Yeah. Like, and another thing that a lot of people I've just been reading just on Twitter and whatnot, people are mad at Jimmy for not being more aggressive. Jimmy Butler had a double-double last night. What more you want him to do? And
when you see him play at the level he played in Game 3, you know the Heat are probably the more inferior team. You expect him to play like that for the rest of the series. Even though he played good, he just didn't play like Game 3 Jimmy.
But I mean, Do you like? Is that really being realistic to expect a triple double out of Jimmy Butler every night? Is that really fair?
That is unrealistic, but in this scenario, you, you gotta expect greatness from these players. And Game Three
Okay,
was great. Game Three was great. It was great. That was a Hall of Fame level performance. But when the Heat are down like that, clearly, like I said, they're their inferior team. You expect them to go 0-6 Dwayne Wade and score 40 points a night.
we can't expect 06 Dwayne Wade from somebody who's not on that caliber. I mean, not trying to talk down on Jimmy, but it's a head and shoulders difference between Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it's a head and shoulder difference between Kendrick Nunn at the beginning of the season and Kendrick Nunn now. Eric Spoelstra has got to take his fate from out of that guy. He's not going to do it. All right, he is not going to do it. You can give them 20 minutes to Derrick Jones Jr. and he scored more than he would.
Honestly, I understand we need a point guard, but it's not like Iggy can't play point guard. Iggy can play point guard. Just put Iggy in. Iggy not even gonna shoot the ball. He's just gonna play defense. That's all we need. Like all Kendrick Nunn does? All Kendrick Nunn does is run up and down the court and miss shots and turn over the ball.
The last shot this fool took was a reverse layup on Anthony Davis, who literally sat there and waited for him and said, "Oh, pin."
Like, I want to know who he thought he was. He decided to ISO against Anthony Davis and take him off the dribble. Like, Tyler Hero could do that because Tyler Hero has proven himself. Tyler Hero has done that earlier. He done that multiple times against Anthony Davis. But Kendrick Nunn is not on that level. And Duncan, like what you said before, Duncan, if he's not making shots, when he's making shots, he's the deadliest shoot. He's one of the deadliest shooters in the league if he's making shots. But if he's not making shots, he is unplayable.
The word is liability, not unplayable. He's a liability. We need to call him what he is. He's a liability on defense. Not saying he's unplayable is too nice. On defense, he is a F. On 2K, if he had his defensive rating at the top right corner, he has an F on perimeter, an F on defense, an F on steal, and an F for blocking shots. He is strict offense. And as great as his offense is, it's not consistent enough for him to not be able to contribute on defense. Literally, the Lakers, all they want is the matchup between Duncan Robinson and LeBron James. That's all they want.
They get it all the time, too.
Because we switch on our screens. Yeah. When we switch on that screen, he's going to eat. He's going to eat every time. So Duncan has got to step up. Or
I mean, me personally, I think he's a solid trade piece.
Hey, you feel me?
I think it was Kendrick, but Kendrick's trade value has gone down. But Duncan, I mean, he's still a pretty decent shooter.
Hey.
Defense takes a while in the NBA to develop good defense. It takes a while to get there. And if you can't really develop that good defense in the Heat system, you got to go. I mean, look at Goran. Goran is an okay defender. That's why he's on the court and he plays a lot. Duncan Robinson, it's going to take him some time to get there. But the Heat don't really have that much time because we're already championship contenders. We don't have time to wait for you to get good.
Oh, for sure. I was reading an article and it was talking about one of these executives that talking about Miami Heat. And I hate they never give the name. They just say NBA executive or NBA reporter or inside source, whatever it is. But nevertheless, they said that this Miami Heat team is an ideal spot for any top free agent talent with wondering eyes.
I mean, that was the case before we went to the finals. That was the case before we went to the finals.
But now we're really that team to look at.
Yeah, solidified now.
Because you got to look at it. You have the location. Who doesn't want to live in Miami? If you're in your 20s, you're single. Even if you're not single, who doesn't want to live in Miami? Then you have the team itself. You have a guy like Jimmy Butler working beside you, who is a workhorse. You got young talent in Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, despite the fact Duncan Robinson could be a trade piece. Even Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn could even be solid in the regular season. I feel like it's just maybe postseason is just not his thing. We're gonna see next year with him, but it's just like that. This Miami Heat team has so many options and so many ways to dismantle a team. All we need is that extra piece. I was looking at the game yesterday, like, man, if we just had another Jimmy, somebody else that works just as hard as Jimmy Butler, that game goes out completely different. Like, imagine we had Victor Oladipo.
Or we had Gordon. If Gordon was playing the game, it'd be different.
If Gordon was playing this whole series, it'd have been different.
Exactly.
You know, let's just be real. Even if Bam never got hurt, the series could have completely changed, completely been a different direction.
Exactly.
You know, the team we have isn't bad. That's the thing. Like the team we have, if we do not make any major moves and just make minor moves, we could potentially be in the same situation next year or in the finals.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, next year is not even really the year because there's no really big name free agents this offseason. So next year is not really the year. It's the year after that one where you can get like all the big stars. So it's like if we make no changes, we'll still be fine. We can still be championship contenders if we make no changes from this season.
I mean, it's some pretty decent sized names out there this year. Not as much as 2021, but this year we have some pretty big names.
The biggest one is Anthony Davis, but he's not leaving.
Of course, he's not leaving. But you also have Brandon Ingram.
He's not leaving either.
Well,
the Pelicans are gonna pay him.
They're for sure gonna pay him. But you got them two. You got DeMar DeRozan. You got Andre Drummond. You got Gordon Hayward. You got Danilo Gallinari.
No, none of them.
If we had Gordon Hayward on the Heat, that would help because he's Gordon Hayward is Duncan Robinson with defense.
Gordon Hayward is Kelly Olynyk with defense.
That's disrespectful.
Did you see how he played against the Heat?
That was his first couple games back.
What do you mean? That would have been his first couple games back if he was on the Heat. He was still trash. What you mean?
Trey, you cannot be serious right now. If we had Gordon Hayward on the Heat, you don't think that'll help?
He's Joe Ingles. Just more athletic. I don't want him on the Heat. He had his chance and he folded. We got Jimmy Butler.
You're mad he picked Boston over the Heat.
No. Of course
not. That's what it sounds like. Because, I mean, Trey, be real. Look at the Heat back then and look at the Heat now. I mean, in Boston back then.
Are you trying to say Gordon Hayward is better fit for the Heat than Jimmy Butler?
I'm not saying that. Nobody's saying that.
So why would I want Gordon Hayward on the Heat? Because if we had Gordon Hayward on the Heat, there would be no Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler can go to the 2 spot. That's where I'm
talking about.
Oh, you talking about back then? Oh yeah. No.
Now we wouldn't have the cap space and whatnot. We probably wouldn't have gotten Bam. Yeah, that would have been a horrible decision.
Hey, look, at the time it was a brilliant decision.
I mean, yeah, and then he broke his leg.
Hey, look, don't sit up here and act like we've always been top of the East, the kings of the East.
But yeah, I mean, he was cool, and then he broke his leg, and he was never the same.
Dunk LeBron, he lost his mind.
What?
He tried to dunk LeBron. That's when he broke his leg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he tried to dunk LeBron, lost his mind, and his leg said.
Yeah, I mean, that probably wouldn't have happened if he was on the Heat. No. But you never know. But
nobody's throwing him a lob. That's why.
I mean, Josh Richardson, he could have threw it. Josh McRobb, no, he wasn't on the Heat at the time. But hey, Hassan. Hassan coming back to the Heat.
You said Hassan coming back to the Heat?
Hassan coming back to the Heat. That's the big man you want, right?
I told you I want Andre Drummond.
Oh my God.
I have never shied away. Andre Drummond or Paul Millsap. Either one.
I dig the Paul Millsap one. But
Paul Millsap is a mobile big man. Yes. Absolutely.
I dig the Paul Millsap one. But the Andre Drummond one, I can't stand behind that one.
Because he doesn't space the floor, Trey.
He doesn't space the floor. His defense is, like that one guy voted for him for Defensive Player of the Year. Is like, what are you doing?
Dude, you know how many rebounds he averaged this year?
Bruh, Hassan did the same stuff when he was at the Heat.
Hassan also was one of the top leading rebounders this year.
Okay, but did they win anything?
They played LeBron.
Okay, we're playing LeBron.
and we won as many games as they did.
What is your point?
You holding it over Hassan Whiteside head like it's his fault he had to go to LeBron in the first round.
I mean, hey, he wasn't even starting. He wasn't even starting originally.
Look, anyway, if we're gonna sign a big man out of this year's free agency, if it's not Andre Drummond or Paul Millsap,
Trade for Kevin Love.
no, keep his old tail in Cleveland.
No.
Hey, but look, we probably won't be able to get Whiteside at a veterans minimum, but we could probably get DeMarcus Cousins. I saw that.
DeMarcus Cousins cannot move. I seen how he's playing with the Warriors. He is not moving anymore. His career is done. That man is stiff.
He hurt himself like 2 or 3 times.
That man is stiff. His career is over.
Okay, so who do you think we should? All right, so we've had this discussion before between a guard and a big man. Which one do you think we should sign?
I mean, me personally, we're gonna re-sign Goran.
Oh, absolutely, that's not a debate.
So that's one guard spot out of there. We're gonna re-sign Jay Crowder.
Yeah.
So at that point, we don't have a lot of money in free agency, and then we still have a draft pick. Kelly Olynyk is gonna pick up his player option because that's a lot of bread right there. Myers is probably gone.
Yeah, he's out of there.
Derrick Jones Jr. probably gone.
Unfortunately, that's unfortunate because I really think he can.
Yeah, but I mean he'll be good on Cleveland or New York.
Oh, he gonna go to the trashiest teams in the East.
I mean they have money to spend.
Wow.
So
okay.
At that point, we don't have a lot of money, so you would have to go after. I mean, I was thinking Fred VanVleet, but he's gonna re-sign with the Raptors most likely.
Fred VanVleet.
He was hooping.
He was hooping, but he's probably gonna stay. I see us either drafting a guard.
It really depends what happens. It's kind of dumb how free agency is after the draft. It should be like the NFL, where they have free agency and then the draft, so you can kind of see where players go and stuff because they have more choice in where they go instead of the draft, where you just kind of go where you're assigned.
Yeah.
They just got to figure out what to do with Kendrick Nunn. Obviously, if we trade him, because we're not going to release him, that's stupid. If we trade him, then obviously we're going to need another point guard. If we still have our draft pick, we can pick up Trey Jones. But like I said, we also need a big man because we're getting out rebounded by the Lakers. They're destroying us. They had a whole bunch of offensive rebounds against us. Caruso, Rondo, Anthony Davis, they were destroying us on the glass yesterday. We need a big man. I was looking at Jalen Smith from Maryland. Also looking at Paul Millsap is really good.
Hey, Jalen, I like that pick. I was a little iffy at first when you first mentioned it to me. But I like his athleticism. I feel like him and Bam would be good down low in the post. He's pretty quick for a big man. He can move. So it's interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. But I really think that we need to sign a veteran big man more so than a young big man.
Yeah. But like I said, go on.
But it's just like it goes back to the same situation. Because I was talking to my friend Brandon about it. And Brandon, he's a big Thunders fan. And he referenced SGA in that last play of the game where he turned the ball over. A veteran guard is not making that pass. He's gonna know better. He's gonna know how to move in that situation. Versus a young guard who's not gonna necessarily know what to do in that situation, what that guy in front of him is capable of doing. He's fresh out of college. He was watching this guy a year ago, and now he has him in his face trying to take the ball from him. So it is definitely like it can go this way, but it can also go this way type thing. But I also look at it like a big man in the big man scenario. If we do get Jalen Smith, we do sign him, and he plays Anthony Davis. What do you think Anthony Davis is going to do to him?
I mean, he's most likely going to get eaten up.
Okay, answer me this.
It's for development reasons though that we pick him up.
But let's not forget, our time is of the essence with Jimmy Butler. We have him for 4 years, and not even 4 no more. We have him for 3 more years. He's not, unless he's going to develop within a year or two to help us get to that point. There's no point of getting him.
That does lead me to my next point. Well, my hot take. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it right now, but we might not keep the first pick because we don't. I mean, not first pick, our first round pick, because I mean we don't really need it. Because if we lose this round, like I said, we kind of need a guard. Like you said, we need a guard. Like I said, we need a guard. We both agree we need guards. Kendrick Nunn is ineffective. Goran is older, and he played off the bench most of this season. Mm-hmm. So we're going to need a starting point guard to fill that role. I'm not going to say just who yet. I'll wait till the end of the show. But in order to get that player, we're going to have to get rid of our first round pick because the team is not going to take Kendrick Nunn, whatever, without a first round pick.
We could package a Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson deal. That for sure will work.
Hold on, you're spoiling stuff, man. Spoiling stuff. But I mean that, it could happen. What do you think about Doc Rivers going to the Sixers?
Doc Rivers to the Sixers, it can either go two ways. It's either going to go really good or it's going to go really bad.
There's no in between.
What he did with not him in particular. I'm thinking of Billy Donovan. If I were in Philadelphia, I would have hired Billy Donovan before Doc. Just because I saw what Billy did in OKC and with those young guys and how he basically raised that young core, and then they brought in a veteran to actually help, and then you see what they did this year. Mm-hmm. But in the case of Doc Rivers with Philly, they gotta make some moves because that Philly team, they're not gonna make it to the playoffs next year.
No, they definitely will. They have way too much talent.
They won't be too high.
It doesn't matter. They're still gonna make it though.
They won't be too high. You gotta remember the Nets this year that were like a 7th or 6th seed.
They were 7th, yeah.
7th seed. They have KD and Kyrie Irving next year. Mm-hmm. So everybody can at least expect to move down one spot or move up one. And that only one that's going to be moving up is going to be the upper half of the East. That lower half, they're not going to do much. That's what I'm saying. The East really has a lot of weapons this year, and it really came out to show. And we have a whole free agency coming up. It's not the same because you got to remember, Indiana looks good. Indiana looks great. Don't do that. I know they got smacked by us, but they're gonna look at it like they got smacked by a team that went to the finals.
Yeah, but I mean, Oladipo not looking too good right now.
Okay, if Oladipo leaves, then maybe
they just gonna lean us with bonus, and that's it.
The East, I'm telling you though. But who's to say he's gonna leave? They lose Victor, but they got TJ.
TJ who? McConnell?
TJ Warren.
Oh, he's on TJ McConnell. I was like, what?
No, TJ Warren.
You gotta see what TJ Warren does over the course of a whole regular season, not 8 games.
I get that, but did you not see what he did in the bubble? That's saying a lot. A lot of guys this year got a lot of playoff for this how they played in the bubble. Look at Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray was not respected as much as he is now. The bubble really helped out a lot. We knew Jamal Murray was a bucket. If you know the game, Jamal Murray was a bucket. Yeah. But to the average casual watchers, which is a good percentage of the NBA's viewers, he didn't get nearly as much love as he did. And I'm pretty sure a lot of these higher ups did not expect Jamal Murray to be as good as he did, to do as good as he did.
Okay, well, if you use that logic, with Kendrick Nunn, let's just say Kendrick Nunn next season averages like 20 points a game. But as you see in the bubble, he was completely trash. But he averages 20 points a game next season. I mean, the bubble is a small sample size.
The bubble is a small sample size, but we also had the season before that, before we got into the bubble, and we saw what he could do. Like, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you got to realize the bubble was not easy for everybody to get used to. Mm-hmm. And I honestly thought the younger guys, I really feel like the younger guys were able to thrive in this type of environment because this is an AAU type field. When I found out how they were setting everything, I'm like, this is an AAU tournament, but for NBA players. That's why I honestly truly feel like that's why Devin Booker went off. That's why Jamal Murray went off. That's why Kendrick Nunn maybe didn't do all that good. But Tyler Hero, these are the type of environments that these guys have been playing in for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's just my thing. It may not be the more popular opinion on why things happen the way it is. But if I put you in a situation where you're playing in something completely different, you don't have a crowd on your side, you don't have the fans in American Airlines Arena to cheer for you. You don't have the fans in Staple. You know, you don't have the fans in the American Airlines in Dallas or the Spectrum Arena in Charlotte or wherever. You don't have any of these things. Now it's just you. Can you play?
Mm-hmm.
So the bubble itself, the bubble's always going to have an asterisk. And they may not have one now because LeBron won, but if the Heat won, it for sure would have put an asterisk up there. Oh, this was a bubble game or bubble series, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, I definitely do feel like that the Miami Heat, and we're just going to close it out because we do have a commercial, right, Trey?
Yes, sir.
The Miami Heat need to win the next game. If not, of course, we're going home. I do feel like we will end up stretching the series out to 6.
At least.
At least. And Doc Rivers, closing out on Doc Rivers. This is probably going to be his last team before they want to send him back to college. This is just me thinking out loud. You had the best team on paper in the league, and you didn't do anything. If the Sixers do not have a good season and within that contract range, you're gonna see him in college, or he's just gonna retire. One of the two.
He's just gonna end it right there.
Hey, because what else can you do? You didn't do anything with this team. You're going to a lesser conference in a sense. If you don't do anything in the East, you didn't do anything in the West. You want to go to the G League? You ain't gonna be in the NBA for long. That's just how it is. He gonna be like David Black. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be up out of here.
Send that man back to Europe. Okay. You are watching Timeout with the Avant Bros. If you enjoy the show, please click the share button to share the stream with all of your friends. Also, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for Boca Tribune. You can also follow the show on Instagram at _timeout7. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. We're switching gears to the world of college football. Week 5 of the college football season has wrapped up, and here are some of the results. FAU beat Charlotte 21-17. Number 22, BYU beat Louisiana Tech 45-14. Number 1, Clemson beat Virginia 41-23. Number 2, Alabama beat number 13, Texas A&M. Number 3, Florida beat South Carolina. Number 4, Georgia beat number 7, Auburn. Number 9, Texas lost to TCU. Number 11, UCF lost to Tulsa. Number 12, North Carolina beat Boston College. Number 15, Cincinnati beat South Florida. Number 16, Mississippi State lost to Arkansas. Number 17, Oklahoma State beat Kansas. Number 18, Oklahoma lost to Iowa State. 20, LSU beat Vanderbilt. Number 21, Tennessee beat Missouri. Number 24, Pittsburgh lost to NC State. And number 25, Memphis lost to SMU. Noah, what do you think about this week's college football action?
I'm a Carolina guy, so I gotta start at home. My Tar Heels is 12th in the nation. Let's just talk about that. That game right there was good. That game right there was great. And honestly, it's just the coaching staff. Like I said before in a couple episodes ago, North Carolina football was not supposed to. Nobody expected us to be this good. And like, unless you were up to date with some of the recruits we got, like, and the recruits we have coming for next year are even better. We actually took Drake May, Luke May's little brother, is actually a quarterback. And he was committed to Alabama, but he decommitted to come to Carolina because of the coaching change. So it's one of those things that, like I said, whenever you have a championship organization, it has to start at the top. It has to start at the top, and Mac is doing this thing. Another thing for me was Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. Oklahoma just lost. He's probably Oklahoma. I don't know if they're gonna drop out of the top 25, but it's not looking too good. I mean, he played good. It's just the team around him just isn't up to par. And Lincoln Riley is supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. He is.
Yes, that's exactly what you called him.
He is the quarterback whisperer. But Spencer Rattler not ready right now. Next year he should be okay. He's only a freshman.
He's the what?
Heisman.
No.
He's the quarterback whisperer. Quarterback whisperer, of course. I mean, he's shown he's a quarterback whisperer. Come on now. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, 3 years in a row. Come on. Okay. Can't deny that.
All right, so you said Kyler Murray, cool. You said Jalen Hurts, cool.
Yeah.
What's the last thing you said?
Baker Mayfield.
That's the issue I have right there.
Baker Mayfield won a Heisman. You don't know how he's going in the NFL.
What are you doing in the NFL? He stinks.
What's Jalen Hurts doing in the NFL?
He's behind a stinky quarterback. The Eagles
that says a lot. That says a lot.
It does not. Because Tua should be starting. Look, Tua should be starting. We all know this. Tua for sure should be starting. But we not starting him.
Than the Dolphins.
Huh?
The Eagles are a better team than the Dolphins. If the team was good enough around Jalen Hurts, he would be starting.
Carson Wentz stinks. Let's start there. He's literally terrible. I know I hate we're backtracking to NFL, but Carson Wentz smells. Let's talk there. Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts can do better than him. I really feel like it. But the Eagles receiver core, they're just fast. They don't really have the best hands in the world. They can run. They can, hey, look, they'll get on that blocking. You know what I'm saying? But they gotta do from this to this. They gotta make the bread basket, thumb to thumb, index to index, pinky to pinky, something. Cause
we'll see what happens when Jalen Hurts actually gets in at quarterback for the first time.
Man, he's gonna be great. He's the reason. Hey, look, Jalen Hurts is single-handedly the reason why I'm a Dolphins fan to this day, because the Steelers fumbled the bag. Single-handedly.
I mean, maybe they weren't looking at him.
And they're stupid. But nevertheless. But Bama is just Bama. Clemson's still Clemson. It's the thing with these games, at least with college football, in my opinion, I feel like it's going to be the same thing every year. You're going to have one or two teams that may come up and surprise a couple people. But for the most part, it's the same teams that win every year.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if I could, let's talk about this Pittsburgh-NC State game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really keep up with the ACC like that? Are you an SEC guy or Big Ten?
More so SEC. The only ACC team I really care about is Miami.
I figured that much. I want you to, whenever Miami plays NC State, I want you to check them out. NC State is going to be a top ACC team in the next 2 seasons.
You think so?
I know so. They have a lot of beast on that team. You know, one in particular I'm thinking about is Savion. Savion, I believe his last name is Jackson. Savion Jackson. Guy's a beast. I mean, he's a monster. That front three, that D line is crucial. Like if you can rush the quarterback in college football, that's half the battle. It's not he's an NFL quarterback where he's used to the pocket collapsing. Some of these guys, they're coming from high schools where their offensive line was the best offensive line in the state. That's the thing about like college football. When you coming into college football, yeah, everybody was the man at their respective schools, and now you're competing against everybody who was the man at their school. But the difference is they're still not there mentally at that point where they can recognize, hey, look, wow, I'm at a higher level now. Because to them, I'm still playing against guys my age. There's nothing to them. Like look at I believe it was Derrick Henry when Derrick Henry went to college. Did the same thing. Like Derrick Henry, Dexter Lawrence. I remember when Dexter Lawrence was in Raleigh and what he was doing. He was blowing people up already. Naheem Hines, when he was at Garner, the same stuff Naheem did at State, he did in high school. He's not doing it in the NFL with the Colts, but it's a different levels to it. When you just go to that next level, it's the same thing. Hey, everybody's gonna go to the same couple schools. If you look at the ESPN Top 300, it's gonna be the same thing, same couple schools: Oregon, LSU, Bama, Clemson, a sprinkle of UNC here and there, a sprinkle of Texas. You might have a couple schools, huh?
You talking about football? You talking about college football?
Yeah, college football.
Why did you sprinkle in UNC?
So it's because UNC gets a couple of top talents in the nation. Yes, they do. They're not the top half.
Don't sprinkle them in a football conversation. They are a basketball school.
And they for sure get top talent in football too. You're capping. You forget what state they're in.
Doesn't mean anything. Miami was bad for a number of years. They're still a football school.
Miami's a city. You're literally comparing a city to a state.
I'm talking about the University of Miami.
I'm about to say, no. What I'm saying, they're in North Carolina, bro. You do not know how much talent is here. Not as much as Miami. Let me start with that. I'm not saying that it's more than Miami. Miami literally has more NFL players than anybody else. But the state of North Carolina and all these schools here and all this talent here, yeah, they for sure get one. If you check ESPN Top 300 list right now, you're at least going to see one person going to either UNC or NC State or ECU for football.
Those top players do not go to North Carolina schools.
Hey, look, listen. You didn't hear what I said at first. I said the top half is not coming to that. It's not coming to North Carolina for sure. They're not coming.
All right. Then so that kind of defeats the purpose of saying North Carolina, the University of North Carolina, is a top football school.
I mean, this year they are.
I mean, yeah, this year they are. Every team has their year, but you said it like they're a perennial team, like Clemson, Alabama, and stuff like that.
I'm not saying that, but
you said I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of North Carolina in there. You can't do that.
Trey, they for sure get they. Trey, don't make me pull up this list right now.
You saying it like North Carolina is like one of the top football schools year in year out.
So they can't recruit because they're not the top. They're not a top football school.
That's not what I said. You said Clemson, Alabama, Texas, all those teams that you said, and you said sprinklers, North Carolina. You can't sprinkle. No, you can't do that.
A sprinkle was like a couple people, bro. It's not a lot. I'm not saying they'll get 10 of the top.
Well, then you have to say that. You can't say these top schools that everybody know. Oh yeah, this is a football school. This team or this football team right here is always the destination. And it'd be like North Carolina.
You just put a little Tar Heel love in there. What's up with that?
Because it's not basketball. This basketball, you could be like, yeah, North Carolina, yeah. People gonna be like, okay, cool, yeah. You can't do that about football.
Oh well, I mean, we're talking about basketball. They get most of everybody. I mean, you know the vibes with that. We better than Duke.
You're a basketball school. Like that's like saying those couple years that Kentucky was a solid football school. Be like, yeah, you got Alabama, you got Clemson, you got Florida, you got Georgia, and you got Kentucky. People gonna be like, what?
Okay, so were they not get top recruits then?
They aren't doing it now. All right, then you see what I mean? They're the same boat North Carolina. It's very inconsistent. Some years
Right.
they good, some years they bad. They're
Trey,
not consistently good like Clemson, Alabama.
Trey, you realize that they do get top ESPN, like ESPN top 300 talent at these schools, correct?
A lot of schools do that. There's 300 people on that ranking, so a lot of schools get those 300 kids.
Not a lot. It's a select few because you know them schools, it look the same. I'm telling you, man. You
But
sleeping over Tar Heels, but okay, it's cool. I understand. It's cool. It's cool.
I mean, they're a soft football team. Who's to say they'll be a soft football team next year, though? Okay, well, before we go on to the next subject, I just want to say, where was North Carolina in between now and the Mitch Trubisky era? Where were they? Because their last really good player was Mitch Trubisky.
No. Oh yeah.
Where were they between what's it called? What 2014? I think it was to now.
Yeah. It was not. It was
whatever.
not a pretty year. It was not a pretty year. North Carolina football was not a pretty year. But
That's what I'm
you also
saying. They're not elite
you
like
also
that.
had ECU. ECU had it down. It was ECU and A&T. We were at App State. The three of us ran North Carolina college football. The three of us.
So are you gonna say Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, A&T, LSU,
Yes.
Oklahoma?
For
You
sure.
can't do
For
that,
sure.
bro.
For sure I would. Why won't I? Why can't I?
Because
We got all right. So answer me this: how many of those schools have four national championships back to back to back to back?
I'm pretty sure Alabama does.
Alabama does. 'Cause I'm pretty sure last year LSU won.
Yeah, but you're not talking about
And
right
then you
now.
and you before that was Clemson, right?
I guess.
All right. So
But
that's
are you
already
saying A&T better than Alabama though?
I'm not saying we better than Alabama.
Are you saying they better than Clemson?
No.
You saying they better than Florida and Georgia?
We could beat Florida.
Florida's number 3 in the nation.
And we bust them.
Okay. Are they better than LSU?
Yes.
Can you say with a straight face that A&T will beat Florida?
Brad, all right, so look, give us a couple years, and when we get more talent coming to HBCUs, we for sure gonna bust them.
What do you mean a couple years? The way 2020 is going, there might not be another couple years.
Hey, you right. But we not living for. Hey, look, we gonna live in positivity. And I had to check my list to prove a point. UNC football actually has the number 7 player in the nation coming to UNC to play football next year. And guess where he's from? Guess where he's from, Trey?
I don't know. Greensboro?
North Carolina, Rocky Mount. He's from the too far.
What position does he play, though?
Huh?
What position does he play?
At the end.
Bro, you acting like a defense ain't gonna change the team. You acting like he a quarterback that's gonna come in and be like, all right, I'm gonna get out the national championship.
Oh, do they say offense wins championships or do they say defense wins championships? All right.
Bro, you're gonna look me in the eye and say Lawrence Taylor single-handedly gonna win the Giants. Lawrence Taylor single-handedly won the Giants Super Bowl. Michael Strahan single-handedly won the Giants Super Bowl. You're gonna look at me in the eye and say Aaron Donald single-handedly gonna win the Rams a Super Bowl. Jalen Ramsey single-handedly gonna win the Rams.
Yes.
No. Defensive players do not score. The name of the game, you have to score to win the game. You have to have more points than your opponent. Aaron Donald not scoring touchdowns.
Hey man, let's go to football. Let's go to the NFL, bro. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere this way.
Come on, man.
You really disrespected my boys in Chapel Hill. Like that's crazy to me, bro. Like they not about to wax y'all this year.
Who's y'all?
The Miami Hurricanes.
Miami's like number 7 in the nation or something. So it's like, what are you talking about?
And they're gonna lose to the Tar Heels for sure.
Miami has too much swag. But that's besides the point. On to the NFL.
We snatching that chain off y'all next. But NFL.
Okay. Week 4 of the 2020 NFL season has wrapped up. Here are the results. The Broncos, they beat the Jets. The Bengals beat the Jaguars. Browns beat Cowboys. Saints beat the Lions. Seahawks beat the Dolphins. Buccaneers beat the Chargers. Rams beat Washington. Panthers beat the Cardinals. Vikings beat the Texans. Rams beat the Giants. Colts beat the Bears, Bills beat the Raiders, Eagles beat the 49ers, Chiefs beat the Patriots, and the Packers beat the Falcons. What are your thoughts on this week's action?
The most surprising game was the Dolphins. I feel like that game right there was the most shocking because I did not expect it to be like that. That was a very close game, and it really shows a lot about what the Dolphins can do and their capabilities and what they have the potential to be. I will say that. Another one, the Falcons. What's going on with the Falcons?
Yeah, the Falcons are really bad this year. Matt Ryan. Julio Jones isn't playing. He's always hurt. Their defense is just bad, man. Their defense is just really bad.
But still, they've dropped games. They've dropped games. I mean, I expect them to lose to the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what he said the other day? I mean, yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, people were saying he was washed and stuff, and he was like, "Come on now." He said something like, "My worst years are most quarterbacks' best years," which is true. That is true.
Hey, but look, you know the type of kahunas you gotta have to say that on TV, on record,
Like,
on
he's not
tap.
lying. He's not lying. Like, he still throw for like 4,000 yards. You know, almost 30 touchdowns. For him, that's a bad season.
Yeah, but
everybody, for Ryan Fitzpatrick, that's a great season.
Okay, man, answer me this. He's having a better season, but is he doing as well as those players that he's having that would have his worst, which would be their best? How many of those quarterbacks are doing better than him in the playoffs, or actually in the season to get to the playoffs?
I mean, aren't the Packers undefeated right now?
The Packers are undefeated right now, but we're talking about his worst. He hasn't sniffed the championship since they won and they beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Have you see what I'm saying? So it's just like I get what you're saying because that is some very, very big nuts thing to say. You got to have some nuts to say that.
But I don't understand your question, or what are you saying?
But my thing is this: is it appropriate for him to say that? And he has not been to a Super Bowl more than once.
Well, I mean, it's not entirely his fault because the team around him hasn't always been the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just recently got a running game with Aaron Jones. Like, it's not like his team has been the best. He's always been a great quarterback, but he's never had like Tom Brady's always had great people around him.
Absolutely.
But Aaron Rodgers has never had that type of consistency.
Okay, but answer me this though: if you know that, why make that statement?
Because he's not
because
lying.
Your individual stats are impeccable.
Yeah.
But what's the point of you doing that if you're not gonna make it to the second round? You're not even gonna make it to your conference championship.
Well, that's what he was referring to as individual stats. He said my worst year is other people's best year.
I get that. But if I'm somebody who that may apply to, and I look at him like this, yeah, your individual stats are better, but you're at home watching at the end of the season. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'll put it in basketball terms. What's the point of scoring 40 points a game and you can't get to the first round or past the first round? In a sense, he like James Harden.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but
impeccable individual stats. You gotta show that man love on his stats. But what is that doing for him?
But are you prepared to say the same thing about Lamar Jackson if Lamar is not able to beat the Chiefs?
Yes, absolutely, for sure.
Are you able to say that about Russell Wilson right now? Because he hasn't been back to the Super Bowl in a while. Russell Wilson is probably the best quarterback in the league right now. Well, second, I guess.
That's valid. That's why, but you don't hear about Lamar talking about his individual stats.
But you don't hear
about not Chet, but you don't hear him talking about it. You don't hear about Russell talking about glory be to God, I am the best quarterback in the league. Like, none of that. He's not saying any of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, individual stats don't mean anything if you're going home.
Well, those questions, those statements are more personality statements. Like, you're not going to say that if that's not part of your personality. That's part of Aaron Rodgers' personality. He'll be like, I'm the best quarterback in the league. That's part of his personality. Russell Wilson would never say that.
Yeah, but But that says a lot. But it's not even, like your personality. That's cool, and I can understand that. Like, yeah, you could be cocky and talk your trash. That's respectable. But you can talk your trash sitting at home. Like you're gonna be on a Zoom call talking to me while I just finished my practice to go to the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, you threw for 4,000 yards this year. Congratulations. Have fun at home. Make sure you wear your mask when you go to Disney World. I'm still playing.
Was Aaron Rodgers a Hall of Famer? Your eyes? Because he only won one championship.
I mean, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, but see, with the Hall of Fame, I feel like where he has won a championship, that kind of takes off a lot. That really helps out a lot in the case.
And he also has several MVPs.
You see what I'm saying? Like he's a good football player, but at the same time, my beef with that is your individual stats is great, but your team, y'all need to get on the same page before you start pointing fingers and talking trash to everybody.
I see what you mean. But you also gotta understand that's a team sport, though. Like even though the quarterback is the most important person on the field, a good quarterback can single-handedly win you a champ. Not single-handedly win you a championship, like a single-handedly like get you to the championship. You still need that solid coaching staff and receivers and offensive line around you just to make sure you're straight. Aaron Rodgers has not always had that. So that's not entirely his fault.
Oh no, I'm not. Oh yeah, no, it's not his fault, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
I want to say the Browns beating the Cowboys. That was pretty interesting. I mean, what's this called? Odell had a great game.
Jarvis Landry throwing passes now, like
yeah, that was honestly my fantasy team. I was going against this guy. He had Nick Chubb, who got hurt, so Nick Chubb wasn't really a factor. He had Odell Beckham Jr. He had Kareem Hunt and Jarvis Landry. I wasn't too worried because they weren't really doing too much before this week. I mean, Kareem Hunt a little bit, but I wasn't really too scared of Odell and Jarvis Landry. And then Odell go off for 38 points. Jarvis go off for like 24. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
mm-hmm.
People were saying, oh, Odell's back now. Odell's back. I mean, Odell never left. It's just, Baker Mayfield.
Quarterback.
I want to see them both of them, probably go to Cincinnati to play with Joe Burrow.
The LSU.
That LSU connection,
The Tigers, grr.
That'd be nice to see. First of all, seeing them two on the same team was always a dream. Like seeing them at LSU, cool. But I wanted to see them together on the same team in the NFL. Hopefully, I wanted Odell and the Dolphins, but the Dolphins were stupid. So
Hey, if we could have got Odell in Miami with Tua and Burrito and Devontae Parker.
This man said Burrito. This man barely played.
Hey, Matt Burrito is the court running back. I don't know why they playing Jordan Howard because he's the.
They don't play Jordan Howard either. Jordan Howard had they play Myles Gaskin. Myles Gaskin is their best running back.
Over Matt Burrito?
Matt Burrito barely plays. Jordan Howard only carried the ball like 3 times this whole season. He has like 3 touchdowns. It's ridiculous.
He's right there. He's probably giving it to him a short run.
Oh yeah, they give him the ball at the 1-yard line and then he scores. That's pretty much it. He's a fullback, practically.
That's the thing about those power backs. It's just like they're never really. That's why I feel like Derrick Henry is low key a freak of nature because he has some speed and he will run through you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But
let's go out of bounds, man. Let's go out of bounds.
Hey, this week. Hey, look, this one right here is kind of funny, bro.
You can take it from here. Go on.
Hey, man, what's your thoughts on the Fendi boxes, bro?
I don't really care too much for it.
What? Yo, come on, bro.
They look nice, but I mean, it's not something that I'm too interested in. I'm not going to go out of my way to buy some Fenty boxes.
Dude, I bought mine. I got mine. And look, that day I texted you, I said, look, let me go over here. Look, I got mine. They on the way. I need to have the Fenties. I got to have the Fenties. I got to. I do.
It's just not my thing. I'd rather just go to like Walmart and get some random boxes.
I mean, yeah, the Fruit of the Looms is good, but I mean, like a girl see the 50s, she got, oh my gosh,
I mean, how expensive are they?
they're $8.
You said they're $8.
Yeah, but you gotta get the VIP. I got the VIP. You know, all you gotta do is just skip
Oh,
it. Yeah.
oh, I think you said 80.
Oh no, baby, no.
I was like, oh no.
Nah,
Since you said 8, I mean that's not bad. Might as
tap
well. Might as well.
I want the pajamas though. The pajamas really fine.
That boy wearing those Rihanna brand clothing lines.
Hey, look, I'm about to be an ambassador. She need to go ahead, hire the kid. You did. I'm gonna go ahead. I need a timeout edition Fenty boxes. I need it to say timeout on the front, not the back. I don't like that stuff. But you know, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's not really my thing. But you know, hey, to each
Trey,
their own.
Trey, man, come on, man. Go get you some Fenties, bro.
If it's a gift, I'll rock it.
If it's a gift, your girl gonna give it to you.
I'll rock it. But if it's not, if it's like me going out there and buying it, probably never happen.
That's crazy. Hey, look, don't let me find them the ones P. Diddy's son had. Them the ones I really wanted.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
They black and they got like this translucent trim, like on the waistband. I need it. I need that one. I need it.
You sound like
if you're watching this, flip it to me, please. Please.
you sound like my friend who was fiending for some Bad Bunny Crocs.
Oh no. See, I'm not a Crocs chocolate. I don't see what the hype is. Why is everybody going crazy over Crocs? I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's just
They got a different sports mode and whatnot. You got the one flap where it's over, you just chill, and then you kick the Croc off and you slide it into sports mode.
it's not really my style either. Like at my job, like a lot of people be buying Crocs. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, people feet be stinking too.
Yeah, we got the furry Crocs too.
Why do y'all have furry Crocs in South Florida?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, no one's buying these. Like it's hot, you know.
Like,
I mean, it's more so for the winter. It's more so for the winter, but I mean, it only gets cold December and January for like a couple weeks, couple days maybe. Our cold is like 80 degrees, so it defeats the purpose of having these furry Crocs.
Yeah, man. Y'all lucky because our cold is 80 degrees. I probably like North Carolina just a little bit more. I can't stand this cold. It's like 60, 70 now, and I hate my life. I go outside every day just angry. Who told it to be cold outside? Where the sun at?
I mean, I've never seen snow. I would love to see snow.
Yeah, it's overrated. It's cold and white. Just stand in the freezer.
My freezer's hot.
Bruh, just I don't know. Go to a Trump rally and hopefully the AC's on. I don't know.
Oh God. Oh no. But it's about that time, folks. It's hot take time. And my hot take of today is the Miami Heat will trade for Drew Holiday this offseason. If we win the finals, somehow win the finals, I don't really see the Heat probably trading for Drew Holiday because there's really not much to do.
They're gonna trade for who?
Drew Holiday, sir. Drew Holiday.
Okay.
But I mean, if we win the championship, there's really not much for us to do. There's no reason to trade for Drew Holiday. We already won a championship. We might as well keep the same core. Try to win the championship again next year. But since most likely we're going to lose, just seeing how it is right now, to be honest, we're going to have to make an adjustment. And knowing how Pat Riley is, seeing how close we are to a championship, he's not going to be like, oh, let's just stand pat, wait till 2021. He's going to be like, we almost won a championship this year. We're definitely going to try again next year. It doesn't make sense to run it back with the same squad if you lost. So he's going to make some slight adjustments, but also kind of major at the same time because, depth. Kendrick Nunn, but Kendrick Nunn is not enough, obviously, not anymore. Duncan Robinson, got to let that man go. Got to let him go.
For Drew?
For Drew Holiday, Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, throwing that first round pick is not too high. I mean, it's not super low either. It's like number 20. Number 20, number 21 or something like that. So it's not that bad. It's not that high of a pick, not that low of a pick. But the salary's still not matching up. So I don't know. Iggy might have to go.
I'm fine with that. Okay.
We're gonna have to probably ship Iggy off. And then I believe we have a James Johnson trade exception, which is like $7 million. So I think that should be enough. I think that should be enough right there to get Drew Holiday.
Honestly, Trey, that's a good trade. I would not be mad at that. Because we're losing, but we're not losing too much. They're definitely losing, but they for sure not losing too much. And they're really getting a lot of return in Duncan Robinson because I imagine him and B.I. shooting the 3 ball with Zion and Derek Favors rebounding the ball. Lonzo definitely has an undisputed starting point guard spot.
Because Drew Holiday, he's been on a trade block forever. They got Lonzo. There's really no reason to have Drew Holiday. Even though Drew Holiday is a better player, they seem to have a lot invested in Lonzo Ball. And they're not like Drew Holiday is the third option. I'm sorry, the first option.
Yeah, remember.
He's third. They have Zion. They got Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday kind of messes up the flow a little bit. Drew Holiday fits with the Heat, defensive minded. All those players are saying, who's the best defensive player in the league? Oh, it's definitely Drew Holiday. Definitely Drew Holiday. Everybody said that. He can score. He can defend. He can facilitate. Like I said, Kendrick Nunn was our starting point guard this whole season. He's not going to be with us next year. I'm sorry to say it, but he's not going to be with us next year. Goran is old. No offense, he's old. But he was playing his best off the bench. Even though he was starting in the postseason, that's a small sample size. He was coming off the bench and he was elite. He's averaging like 16 points a game. It's best to keep him on the bench, preserve his health, have Drew Holiday start. Drew Holiday's about Jimmy Butler's age anyways. Drew Holiday, I guess another guard. No, not another guard. You have Drew Holiday, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Bam, and then a big man. Which leads to the next one.
So I do feel like that Miami Heat will sign a big man more so than drafting one, especially if we do end up going through with a trade for Drew Holiday. Because Drew Holiday, that trade room has been going on and been brewing since the season. So that's not too far fetched. I do see us signing or at least making a pursuit for Montrezl Harrell from the LA Clippers. I feel like him and Bam will fit side by side. Montrezl Harrell is a big, quick, pretty big, mobile big man that can move the floor. He could grab a rebound. He definitely would have helped out this year against Anthony Davis if we would have had him on our roster. So either him or Paul Millsap. I'm an Andre Drummond stan. I do feel like he would be a good fit in Miami, but some people, that shall remain nameless, are not in favor of getting Andre Drummond for whatever reasons they may be. But nevertheless, Miami definitely needs to get a big man. Not that Bam is not doing the job, but it's just that Bam is not the only one. That should not be the only one down there having to handle big men, basically.
But before I end the show, I just wanted to say one more thing. Actually, two more things. With the Heat, like I said, if we get Goran, we sign Goran and we sign Jay Crowder, we're not gonna have a lot of money. But like I said, Drew Holiday, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Jay Crowder at the 4, and Bam at about the 5, and then get some other role player big man to fill in for like Myers Leonard or whatever. And my other thing I wanted to say is shout out to the Miami Marlins for making the playoffs and advancing to the second round.
They played the Braves, didn't they?
They're playing the Braves, and I'm pretty sure they lost because they were down 2 at the top of the 8th inning. I'm pretty sure they lost.
Yeah, I saw it at the bottom of the 7th.
So that's tough. But still, congratulations.
Shout out to the Marlins.
All right, guys, that's it for today's show. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for @Boca Tribune. You'll also follow us on Instagram at @the_timeout7. Follow me on my personal Twitter at Trayvon3. Noah?
You can follow me at HoopBillsArcs on Twitter and ArcBuilder Noah on Instagram.
Sir, Timeout airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. As always, this is the Avant Bros signing off.